Being proficient in offhand shooting is one of the more difficult things to master. I'm going to give you a couple tips and see if they might help you out on the range. Something very important whenever it comes to offhand shooting is I'm going to start with my person. I have to build up a good base to be successful. And what I mean by building up a good base is I take somewhat of an athletic stance. I've got my feet a little bit wider than my shoulders, my knees are slightly bent, and I'm putting a little bit more of the weight onto the balls of my feet. When I introduce the firearm, I want to make sure that my length of pull is correct. And the way I'm going to check that is stick the buttstock into my elbow and make sure that I have a good position in relation to my trigger finger. If it's too short, what it looks like is right there. See, that's not going to work out well because I'm a little bit bunched up. So for me, this buttstock extended all the way out is just about right. Once I know what a good base looks like, I want to turn that base and blade it in relation to my intended target. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to make a very natural point of aim, and then I'm going to move my feet around until I am naturally pointed at my intended target. You don't have to be square to the target. This is maybe a more tactical position. I also don't have to be completely bladed. And while either of those positions may work for an intended purpose, what I'm showing you today is just a way of doing it. It's not necessarily the way. This is what has been successful for me. My support hand can go at the end of the handguard or it can go up close. It's important to know that the closer to the receiver my support hand is, the more leniency I'm going to have to move from target to target, both left and right. However, the farther out I get, the more control I'm going to have over the muzzle and being able to stop on certain targets. Following that same mentality, I like to find a natural point for my support hand. For me, it's roughly halfway to 2/3 down the handguard. This natural point of aim is going to be the best for me. My support hand, I've also got my finger, you'll notice, pointed down range. Again, it's a natural point of aim that's going to help me stay on target. Okay, we've got our base set, we've got our natural angle to the target in mind, we've got our firearm and our length of pull set, we've got our support hand grip. Now what we want to do is actually look at the target through the reticle. It's important to note that no matter how great we've done everything else, the gun is still going to move. It's going to recoil and we won't be able to hold it perfectly still. Don't try that. What I personally do is try to find some type of a pattern that my reticle is naturally making. Personally, I like the figure 8 pattern. What that means is that as my reticle is moving, every time it crosses the center of the target, that's my opportunity to pull the trigger. So get to the range, find out what pattern works best for you, and let's go shooting.